august gathering. And thank you, Manavi, for setting the tone in the morning in Hindi. एक भाषा जो connect कर लेती है. I was very happy to hear her starting in Viksit Bharat, बढ़ता Bharat. They are the positive tones that I really like to hear when I start my morning. She also invoked Mahatma Gandhi in the beginning, which really sets the tone for this country. We have heard two of our friends from industry who are almost part of Indian Railway. You know, Indian Railway encompasses almost everyone. There are hardly anyone in the country who cannot connect with Indian Railways. And there are the two people, one who is next gen. I have worked with his father, Mr. Senior Chaudhary. Now, Pratish is here. I'm very happy to see him here. And we heard very emotional words from Mr. Sudipta. The Tex Maco, which is one of the oldest partners in the progress of the journey of Indian Railways. Yes, the topic that ET Infra, we are very thankful to them that they have given one full day on rail infra. They've given the importance that the nation is giving to Indian Railways, government is giving to Indian Railways, and not just because it is some good word or some preferred child of the government of India. It is for the fact that if we really want to see a developed country, that is India, the rail has to grow faster than how your GDP is growing. And in this context, led by Mr. P. Manoj, the ET Infra is going to spend the whole day on developments and transformational change in the railways. So I'm here as a hardcore railway man. You have heard two of the friends. I'm a hardcore railway man to set the context for a long day. I saw that it is going to be till 5:30 in the evening. So let's start with some positive things that I always do in the morning. And what I gathered from the newspaper today, the two things really attracted me and gave me a lot of positivity. One, that our Prime Minister was praised by Mr. Donald Trump yesterday as one of the charismatic leader, and also that he is one of the toughest negotiator. That is, ladies and gentlemen, is transformation for me for today's positivity. When your premier is considered and respected on the global platform by the best who is who, as the person who is charismatic as well as a very tough negotiator. Gentlemen and the ladies, this is a time when we must look forward to very quick transformation, because the country today is led by a transformational leader and not a mere transactional leader. Now, the second news, come to the second news. I read on the front page, small news, but for me it was a very big news that Namo train, which is now running from Sarai Kale Khan in Delhi up to Meerut, Modipuram, is going to be extended up to somewhere up to Haridwar. Now, think of it. Journey from Delhi to Rishikesh is going to be in 2.5 hours. अब सिर्फ सपने देखने का विषय नहीं है. How you make it realized in a very time frame manner, that is transformation. These two news are today, and for the last 12 years, you कहते हैं इस देश में, has been a journey of transformation. So the discussion today, I believe that should be in two parts: what we have already achieved and what we are going to achieve in the faster track. When the Prime Minister's clarion call comes that he is visualizing a Viksit Bharat in 2047, the onerous task lies on the shoulders of all the CEOs and leaders in the industry that it should be achieved at least 5 years prior to that. When we think of that, we must know the numbers. At what rate the GDP is growing, what rate our GDP should reach to 10 trillion, and to that 10 trillion, say it is coming in 2030, 2032, what should be the contribution of every individual organization? That context should be the context of the day. I started my 2.0 journey, when out of 30 years, I spent 15 years in the field in Mughal Sarai, Dhanbad, Asansol. If you know these names, they are very important areas of Indian Railways, where most of the loading comes from. And 2013, in my 2.0 journey, after taking a mid-career break, doing my master's degree in management, I came back to Railway Board. It was 2013. Many of you are very senior guys. I'm taking you back to 2013 without any comment. Things were moving. but moving at a speed which was not desired speed for transformation. Then came 2014. Now I'm coming to the basics, where you can think my eyes as the eyes of Sanjay of Mahabharata, how things were happening. I'm setting the context for you. There were two factories proposed, one at Madhepura for 12,000 horsepower locomotive in the railway context, and the other was 6,000 horsepower state-of-the-art diesel engine factory in Mehraura. Now, names may not be sounding very familiar to you. It is familiar to me because incidentally I belong to the land of Bihar. मधेपुरा एक ऐसा जगह है जहां आपको जाने के लिए करीब करीब 24 से 30 घंटे की मेहनत करनी पड़ती होती है. एक नॉर्मल फीलिंग थी. How FDI can be brought to such remote place in a country. But 2014, when Honorable PM joined, Railway Ministry went into transformational mode. The tenders which were cancelled 2 times before that, 2015, why I'm saying this, I was part of that infra team, PPP team, which saw to it that tenders were finalized in the most transparent and speedy manner. 2015, most of you must be covering that in the new press building of the Government of India at Raisina Road. Agreements were signed with General Electricals at Mehraura in Chhapra district and Madhepura with Alstom. 3 years, I was having the privilege of on the board of those guys, a French guys team and an American guys team. Trot in 3 years, I was there on the board, 15 to 18. Engines coming out of those two factories from those remotest area. One more important aspect in this. Incidentally, I'm talking about the perceptions and how perceptions and myths were broken for the transformation. I recall to you, 2015, the government in Bihar was not the same government that was in Delhi. It is very important to put the context. Despite that, business was there in the place. There was no hurdle to coming out of those two factories, and 2018 production started. Today, from 600 horsepower locomotives, you have 12,000 twin bobo locomotives running in the country. You have state-of-the-art 6,000 horsepower diesel locomotive running in the country. And you also started a factory in Dahod where you are producing 9,000 horsepower locomotive, all in India. Ladies and gentlemen, this is transformation achieved by Indian Railways. तो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन मेरे हिसाब से यही है. हम सपने देखते हैं, खूब सपने देखते रहते हैं. सपने जब साकार होने लगते हैं और विद इन टाइम साकार होने लगते हैं, यही ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है. I am privileged, most of you are privileged, that we are delivering and working in a time when ease of doing business is just not the buzzword. It is real action in place, where there is complete synergy between the government agencies and the private agency, as the two of the gentlemen representing, they told about it. The young guy was talking about producing bullet train in the country, and he is not dreaming. I'm telling you, this is going to be a reality very soon. I think Pradesh, you will agree to me. So now the next transformation is transforming your wishes and capability into reality. I think the day will be set in those contexts. I'll talk about a few more things. 2015 में capex Indian Railway का 50,000 crore होता था. The other day, my colleague from Railway Board, we were directors together in 2013. I got promoted to ED in 2015. He is now a director of finance in one of the PSUs of the railways. We were talking about, sir, 35-40,000 crore capex मुझे बहुत बड़ा बात लगता था उस जमाने में. Where are we today? Near to 3 lakh crore. And we were discussing how the capacity to spend, how the capacity to build had come in this country within a decade time. It is not that one person has done it. Everybody in the industry was sitting here as part of this transformation, and let us celebrate it. There is no harm in celebrating the fact. Since you are transforming, since you are celebrating, that is why your premier is being touted as the most tough negotiator and the charismatic leader by none other than Mr. Donald Trump. It is a collective pride for the country that we are led in this transformational time. The capex of India, you're talking about capex vision. Vision is already in plateau. In decade time, from 50,000 crore capex, You are already spending nearly 3 lakh crore of capex. And ladies and gentlemen, this 3 lakh crore is going to be consistent for next 5 to 7, 10 years. Why? There's already a sanction of 7 high-speed rail corridors. And that is where people like Mr. Sudipta and Mr. Chaudhary has to put things down and deliver these bullet trains within the country. 7 bullet train routes. ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ये है कि जब हमारे माननीय रेल मंत्री कलकत्ता में कहते हैं कि हम बुलेट ट्रेन लेके आ रहे हैं जो दिल्ली से पटना का सफर 5 घंटे में करेगा और दिल्ली से सिलीगुड़ी का सफर 6.5 घंटे में करेगा, और ये सिर्फ सपना नहीं है, वी आर गोइंग टू डिलीवर इट. ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ये है कि जब माननीय रेल मंत्री बंबई में ये कहते हैं कि 1.5 घंटे का सफर जो होगा वहां एयरलाइंस को बड़ा कंपीट करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि हम 1.5 घंटे में मुंबई से अहमदाबाद जाने वाले हैं, 2 घंटे के से कम समय में हम मुंबई से बड़ौदा जाने वाले हैं. Why it is needed? It is needed for the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, we are required to cater to the biggest population of the world. ये बात रोज रिमाइंड करना है खुद को कि आज हम चाइना से बड़ी जनसंख्या है और यंग जनसंख्या है, जन जी की बात हो रही है. You have to create mobility in terms of physical mobility, in terms of the goods mobility, and that is what transformation is coming in a big manner in Indian Railways and in the government of India. Now, the second part is transformation. I mentioned all the numbers, it is already there to believe. Now, in my opinion, the time has come that this transformation must run in a very high speed. Deliverance today is the key word. How the deliverance will come in the picture? There are 3 aspects of it. And where we fit in, we believe that the first raw material for any of a project is finance. And that finance must come at a very, very attractive rate and in a hassle-free manner. This is where Indian Railway Finance Corporation fits in. For the last 38 years, we have brought in the cheapest resource, extra budgetary resource to Indian Railways, and that is how we are owning on our books. That is the arrangement, more than 80% of the locomotives on our books. And we are very proud collaborators with Indian Railways. Now that they are getting all the budgetary supports, we are using this fund to cater to the railway ecosystem. Second thing is the technology, as everybody is talking about. Today it is, everything has to be made in India. Tracks we are already making, wagons and coaches we are already making. I'm looking forward to a time when the signaling system and every aspect of the total train running are being produced within the country. And they will come. Everybody is here in the country. Today, propulsion system, when we started in 2015, Ramprakash Sahab is here from the electrical department. So we were looking forward to 160 kmph propulsion system from somewhere outside the country. Today we have got indigenous manufacturers also who are ready to make you propulsion system for 250 km/h. And we are not stopping anybody coming from outside also. So transformation has to be the buzzword in this country for the fact that you are the only economy in the world who is touted to grow at more than 7% consistently for a decade. I'm not here to make it very over proud that others are not growing. They have their own issues and the problems. Somebody is going 1%, somebody is going to 1.5%, somebody is flat, and the nearest competitor is growing today at 4%. No, all respect to them, they have already grown to the developed nation. But we have the aspiration to be on the same league. In GDP, at nominal basis, we are hovering between 4th to 6th. We have to be 3rd very soon. On PPP basis, purchase parity basis, we are already 2nd. So today it is not just that I'm looking for somebody, मुझे कुछ खिलौना चाहिए. नहीं. It's a reality that we have to be in that big league. And the question is, how sooner we are reaching there. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what rail transformation that we are going to talk about the whole day. This is the capex vision where 12 lakh crore, 15 lakh crore a year in this country is just a thing that we really need. And we all know that we are going to spend those things. For spending 12, 15 lakh crore, make in India, fund in India, all technology in India, you know that what kind of opportunities as well as responsibilities lies on your shoulders. Kindly be prepared for that. because this story is going to be there for a decade and more than that. So I'm leaving all of you on this note that transformation, capex vision, as well as global partnership. Global partnership today is totally assimilated. It's not that we are only looking for somebody from outside to come and do something unilateral. No, you have to assimilate with my industry in the country. Today we are going to produce supersonic jets also, but not that somebody will come and do some isolation manner. They have to be part of our own system. So that is how every finest engineering marvels that Indian Railway needs has to be assimilated in the country, and that is the power of India today. That yes, if you want to do business with the biggest population of the world, you have to work like this. So I think I have set the context. I want to leave you with few lines. These lines are very close to my heart, and I use this as a management tool in my company. I'm just going to share with you. सर्वेश्वर दयाल सक्सेना जी की लाइनें हैं, कहने को कविता हैं, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि मैनेजमेंट के लिए इससे बड़ी चीज़ कुछ हो नहीं सकती है, बिकॉज यू हैव टू एस्पायर, यू हैव टू बिल्ड एंड यू हैव टू अचीव. तुम्हारे साथ रहकर मुझे अक्सर ये महसूस होता है कि हम असमर्थताओं से नहीं संभावनाओं से घिरे हैं. आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड द हिंदी. हम असमर्थताओं से नहीं संभावनाओं से घिरे हैं. हर दीवार से एक द्वार बन सकता है और हर द्वार से पूरा का पूरा पहाड़ निकल सकता है. इफ यू read these lines, you see what is happening in the last decade in the country. पूरा का पूरा पहाड़ निकल सकता है. श्रीनगर से वंदे भारत की यात्रा दिल्ली की हो रही है. They were naysayers. Today it is a reality. And one punchline I'm leaving all of you. This is the management mantra that I profess in my country. That सामर्थ इच्छा का सिर्फ दूसरा नाम है. If you really wish for something and if you feel that I'm going to do it, you have the capability to deliver it. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, the real transformation. We are leading to the globalization and a very important role that India is going to play in the whole world. Thank you so much.